Good morning, friends and family. This is Gina with Hope and Cope. I hope this video finds you well. I have a topic for you today. It was just occurred to me this week and was like, oh, that's something that really helped me. And that is, they say knowledge is power. Well, in some regards, even with a family member with addiction, maybe knowledge is power. It's good to know about addiction. It's good to know about rehab. It's good to know about how addiction progresses. It's good to be aware of the specific, maybe drug of choice of your loved one and how that, what the medical progression is with long-term use of that sort of drug. And maybe there's reasons that knowledge is going to be helpful to you, but I want to talk to you about knowing everything in your loved one's life. That is where knowledge is really not power. So every situation is so different. There's a million different scenarios, and I can't begin to cover them all. But let's just say, if the person lives in your house, it's a little different, right? But if the person doesn't live in your house and you see them at a family gathering, or they come to visit you, or they call you, maybe they're asking for money, they want to tell you this big sob story of what has happened recently and how they need to be bailed out. I'm just going to encourage you not to get sucked into that. We've talked about that in previous videos, how it's okay to say no, and it's okay to say, I love you, but I can't give you money. And that's different for everybody. Maybe you feel like you could go get groceries and diapers for the baby and fill the car up. And, that's just different for everybody. If you've done that for 5 or 6 years, you might decide you don't want to do that anymore. But as a, mom, I've got grandkids, I know that I'm going to probably do what I can to help my kids and grandkids. But as far as to just really enabling an addiction, that's where you want to be really, really, really cautious. You don't want to do anything to cause that person to progress in their illness, and they're not going to seek change as long as things are working out for them. So my suggestion to you, if they are trying to interject information, is you can honestly just say, I don't really need to know all these details. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help you to tell me, and it doesn't help me to know these details. There's a hair right in front of my face. And and another thing is, just don't go looking for the information. It will only make your life worse. Don't go seeking. Okay, so my experience is, typically, unless someone's asking you to give them money, they don't want you to know their life situation anyway. They want to keep all that secret. They're not going to talk about their illicit behavior. They're not going to talk about the unsavory people they hang out with. They're not going to talk about the things that they're ashamed that they do. So don't ask. That was the whole point of this video. Knowledge is not power. Knowing these things about your loved one will just add sorrow. Knowing the types of people they're hanging out with, knowing they may be in danger for their life, knowing they may be doing illegal behaviors to get what they need. A lot of that is just heart-wrenching. Serenity stealing. And so I just want to encourage you, don't feel like you have to know everything. In fact, resist the urge to ask, because it doesn't help. If it helped, I'm not heartless. If it helped, if if they need groceries and they need gas in the car, like I already mentioned, and you want to do those things, that's fine. I don't think it's fine to enable. I don't think it's fine to enable, but it's fine to have a heart and to reach out and to, show kindness if that is what you feel like you should do. But I'm just talking about knowing all the sorrow. You don't need to know a play-by-play that they're sleeping in abandoned buildings, that they're sharing needles, that they are robbing and stealing and breaking into cars. I just don't think it helps you as a family member, a sister, a mother, a spouse. It just doesn't help you to know these things. Don't go searching. Don't be calling around to all the family members and getting all the information that is just going to break your heart. So this may not seem intuitive to you. You may be rejecting this as a concept. I'm just going to ask you to just consider letting yourself be in the dark about as much as you can possibly stand to be in the dark about, so that you can have some kind of a normal life. I feel like it'd be very hard for me to get up and go to work right now if I felt like my kid was hanging off a cliff. So, and if you can't rescue them, that's the point. If you can't rescue them from that cliff, then we're just building insanity into our own lives to go and try. So it's best to pray. It's best to show loving support and kindness and encouragement. When you're ready, I'm ready to help you get into a rehab. When you're ready, I'm ready to help. I'm ready to pick you up and take you. But to just torture yourself with every grimy detail is not necessary. So I know this was a little bit of a heavy topic. I am sorry. I try to always at least have something positive to say, but I'm just going to encourage you to realize there's not just one person on this earth, and it's not just the only person you have to consider is not just that addict or that person with that, how do I usually say it? A lifestyle that is hurtful to them, that brings you a lot of sorrow. So it could be a variety of things. So I just want to encourage you. You don't have to know, and it's okay to not know, and it's okay to say, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's not helpful to me. You're not going to change. You're not going to do anything differently. You're just telling me because misery loves company, and I don't need to know. And so I hope this helped you. I love you. I care deeply about what you're going through, and I know there are people out there really, really suffering over someone else's life choices. And that's why I make these videos, and that's why I try to share my heart. If this is helpful, please like it, please comment, and if you know someone else that this would be a benefit to, please share it. And know that I'm always praying for you. I don't even know you, but I'm praying for you, and I do that every day. And so share comments below if you've got other great suggestions for how to stay disconnected and detached to an extent from people's unmanageable lifestyles. And until then, goodbye.